Welcome to Product Review Wednesdays here at MHNews. I'm your host, Matt Haslam. Today we're reviewing the Zoom H4n audio recorder. It's an awesome audio recorder, and today we're actually using it to record our episode, so if there's not too many times I pick this up, please don't kill me in the comment section below on it. We're actually using it as an audio recorder. We don't have a second one on hand today to record our audio on it and show one, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, it allows you to see how good of an audio recorder it is today, so check that out as we're watching the episode. And everything you're hearing is actually coming from the Zoom H4n, so it's a great little product placement there. We're not sponsored by Zoom or any of our products, so manufacturers, so everything we're about to say is our personal and honest opinions of the product, so keep all that in mind. I think it's important here to note what I use the product for, because otherwise you'll be thinking, well, it's great for him, but is it great for me, what I do? I think you need to do some research. If you need to do different things and this one might not be able to do it, maybe the best thing is to go with a Tascam or another audio recorder. I don't know those audio recorders, but all I can say is what I know. So basically, check out this episode. I use this mostly for music recording, if I'm doing MH Lounge or something like that, or if I'm just wanting to get a demo track, or if I'm just trying to get a really solid audio recording for an instrumental, or solid audio recording for anything really. I use the Zoom H4n a lot. So much, whether I'm on piano or if I'm on guitar and trying to do a vocal track to it. If I have a background vocalist or something like that, I can plug that in as well and do it different ways, but I can definitely do it. I also use it for MHNews here, and I use it for professional films on set, and definitely on my new documentary that I'm using it on. I use this thing every freaking day, okay? This is like my this and my Canon T5i are like, if I lost that, they're my babies. So I use them a lot. But I think it's important to note what I use it for. That way you can make a good, fair judgment on whether it's right for you. I think the good parts about this is that it's compact and robust. It's very small and it's lightweight, so it's not that much to carry around. It's made of pretty much metal, so if you drop it, it's not going to really break too much. However, the front here does have the external mics on it, so if you drop it right on the mics, it probably will break the mics. I wish there was some sort of guard on the mics to protect them, but overall, it's a solid design and it's pretty robust. So being on the road, I typically take care of my gear. I have it in cases or my book bag that's specifically made for camera gear, so overall I protect my gear pretty well. So as long as you protect it and you don't drop it a lot, if you're gonna drop it a lot, then maybe opt for getting a guard for the mic or some of that. But overall, it's a great solid design here, and it's pretty robust for what it is, and it's lightweight, so it's cool to carry around and not be lugging around big, huge things all day. The features and recording options on this thing are freaking insane. I'm not going to go into specifics of it because you can read all those specifics on the B&H website or whatever you're getting it from. But it also includes phantom power at 24 and 48 volts, which a lot of our audio recorders only have 24 or 48, but they don't have both, and some audio recorders don't have any phantom power at all. For instance, our Cardio 8 Cedo 2 mics from Samsung use 48 volts phantom power, so otherwise we won't be able to do this episode. So we're able to put phantom power through this and have mics here that use phantom power wherever I go. So if I'm on locations, a lot of shotgun mics use phantom power. So if I'm on location and I need phantom power, just bring the Zoom with me. It's awesome. Otherwise, I would need to bring my big, huge Yamaha board or my Mackie board, and I just don't like doing that because they're huge boards made for live events, not for field recording. So this thing really does help out a lot for that. I can monitor the audio from headphones, which line in, or I can monitor it on the screen here, and it shows me exactly where I'm at, if I'm peaking or not, what's all happening. So I love using the monitors on this thing to check out everything. A lot of audio recorders don't have a monitor here to see everything, so it just makes it makes it shitty on location a lot of times. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be honest here. I can also interface to my computer on this. So if I'm trying to record a really solid audio recording, I can do it on this. But if I do have access to a laptop, I'm going to do that. And if I have audio recorder on my computer, like Acoustica Mixcraft 6.0, I can interface rather than to a mixer that has a USB capability, such as the Yamaha MG166C-USB mixer that I have right over here, that I typically use for bigger projects that have a huge budget. But if I need a small little audio recorder that I only need 3 channels on or something like that, then I can interface with the USB from my computer to the USB input on this thing, and I can just plug my mics into this, and that becomes my interface. So rather than buying M Audio little interface for 1 or 2 channels, that costs like an extra $100 or so, $110 from like the cheaper places. Rather than buying an external interface for that, I can just go with my Zoom. So it saves me money there too. So for 200 and I believe $25, $225, I get a field recorder, and I also get external USB monitor for all of my incoming audio. So that's great. I mean, I save a bunch of money on doing that as well. I can control up to 3 channels separately on this. A lot of people just go, well, it's only having 2 channels, Matt. What the hell are you talking about? Well, it has 2 XLR and 1/4 inch inputs. It's either or XLR or 1/4 inch there on the back of this whole audio recorder. But on the front of it, behind these mics, which also are great mics for audio recording for like music or something like that, just put it in the middle of your room and just have at it, really. It has 90-degree and 120-degree patterns for the pickup patterns for the mics, but on the back it also has an external mic input on an 1/8-inch jack, so you can adapt whatever mic you need to that. So for instance, if I have a background vocalist with me and I'm playing guitar or something like that, I'll plug my guitar into the external mic input on the back of this, and then I'll plug both of our vocals into the XLR inputs as the main inputs. So that's really great. I can control up to 3 channels, which is fantastic. A lot of people just say it's only 2 channels, Matt. No, it's 3. Cool. It's really cool. I can't recommend it enough. The bad part about this, again, we're not sponsored, so I'm allowed to say the bad and the ugly. The battery life on this thing sucks. I'll be honest. It has AA batteries, and it really sucks. I put rechargeable batteries in it just because we're on a budget here, and I can't replace batteries all the time on it. Maybe it is a little bit better on real batteries that aren't rechargeable. I don't know. I never tried it. But I use rechargeable batteries just because they're cheaper. In the long run, I should say. They're cheaper. But it also has a battery saver on this, so you can turn on in the battery compartment. You can turn a battery saver. It's called stamina mode. You can turn it on, but in stamina mode, it does not allow you to have phantom power on your mics. So that's one downside. So if I'm on location and I want to put a cardioid mic for a phantom powered mic, such as a shotgun mic or cardioid, or pretty much any mic nowadays is phantom powered for field recording. So I'm not able to do that. So I have to use up a lot of batteries. So just keep that in mind if you don't have an AC outlet nearby to plug into the wall for electricity. So I constantly have this power cable with me everywhere I go, just because it goes through a lot of power. It doesn't have automatic double recording at 20 decibels lower, so if an actor screams all of a sudden, I don't have that safety track to go back to cut into. So if you're recording and all of a sudden your actor screams, you can cut to the second track, which was recorded at a lower gain on your mics, and a lot of times that helps you out, and it basically, well, we never made a mistake. Yeah, yeah, you did, but how can you predict it? So it doesn't have that. Tascams do, I believe. So if you need that, maybe opt for a Tascam. But if I'm only using one mic, for instance, here at MHNews, I only have one mic in front of me, and it plugs into channel 1, the main XLR input, channel 1. It only records panned left. So if you're plugging something into this on channel 1, it pans all your audio coming in from that mic to the left of your audio track. And channel 2 pans everything to the right of that audio track. So later in post-production, if you only have one mic, I need to bring it into an audio recording, editor or my video editor and pan the audio 50% to the right in order to balance it out. But this is also, while it's good, while it's bad, it's also good in some ways, because if I'm recording two vocalists at the same time, I can record one on channel 1 and one on channel 2. That way later on I can mix it without many problems, because all of the audio from my first singer is on the left side and all my audio from the second singer is on the right side of my audio. I can just separately pan those and have those different takes of that same track and mix it later on, so it makes for a heck of a lot easier in mixing and stuff like that. But overall, it's a great audio recorder. I can't recommend it enough. A friend of mine has a Zoom H2 audio recorder, and it's pretty basic, I have to admit. It's definitely, they improved a lot of things before they got to H4n. They improved a lot of things to get to the H4, and then they improved again to get the H4n audio recorder. So it's a huge improvement on since the H2. The H2 basically just needed to set up in the middle of the room and turn it on. That was pretty much all you could do with that. And I use that sometimes with my friend, the friend of mine. Just, it doesn't do as good of a job as the H4n. It probably never will. Honestly, it's pretty basic, and you can't plug mics into it. You can't have phantom power with it. There's a bunch of stuff that I don't recommend about the Zoom H2. But everything I don't recommend about the Zoom H2, they improved it for this one. So what can I say? This is overall a great audio recorder. And again, I very much encourage you to do some research before you actually go ahead and buy this, because it is a little substantial of a thing for some people. $225 might be a little bit much for you in your budget, but definitely it's a great buy. I love it. I can't recommend it enough. And please keep in mind what I said about what I use it for, just so you can be aware of that. But overall, it's a great recorder. So thanks for joining us here today. And if you have any comments or tips and tricks on how to use the Zoom H4n, or if you have a recommendation for another audio recorder, or maybe anything about the Zoom H4n that you'd like to point out that you found good or bad about it, that you'd like to pass on to another fellow filmmaker out there or a musician out there, please comment in the comment section below on YouTube here, and check out our other episodes coming out every Monday through Thursday. And thanks for joining us here today, and have a good one, people. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to our channel for new episodes airing every Monday through Thursday. Have a good one.